Imagine taking everything you have ever known, every mountain, every ocean, every continent, every human being who has ever walked the surface of the Earth. Now shrink our planet down. Keep shrinking it until it fits neatly on the tip of your pinky finger. A tiny, fragile grain of blue dust. Now look at the sun. A raging, white-hot ball of plasma so incomprehensibly massive that over 1 million Earths could fit inside it. The sun holds 99.8% of all the mass in our solar system. It anchors our entire world. It grips Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and distant Pluto in an unbreakable gravitational hold, dictating every second of our existence. To us, the sun is the undisputed monarch of the sky, an ancient, immortal god of fire. Now imagine an object so impossibly large, so terrifyingly vast, that it treats our sun like a single grain of sand on an endless desert beach. An object so massive that if you dropped our entire solar system straight into its mouth, it would not even notice. It would swallow the sun, Jupiter, Earth, and every planet all the way out to Pluto, and there would still be hundreds of billions of miles of empty, pitch-black space left over inside it. This is not science fiction. This is real. Deep in the cosmic dark, a phantom titan is lurking, and its sheer existence challenges everything we thought we knew about reality. To understand the true horror of this object, we first have to rebuild our sense of scale. Human brains are simply not wired to comprehend true cosmic infinity. We think in miles, hours, and human lifetimes, but the universe does not care about our intuition. Let us start right here at home. Imagine standing on an open field, holding a single marble in your hand. That marble represents Earth. On this exact same scale, to find Jupiter, the undisputed heavyweight champion of our solar system, you would need a basketball placed 100 yards away. Jupiter is so large that you could fit 11 Earths side by side across its equator, and over 1,300 Earths crushed inside its stormy atmosphere. Now look up at the sun. On our marble scale, the sun is a towering house, a glowing sphere over 8 feet tall. If Earth is a marble, Jupiter is a basketball, and the sun is a 2-story building, you start to realize how small we really are. The sun is 1,000,000 times larger than our homeworld. For centuries, humanity believed nothing could ever surpass the stars, but our sun is actually a dwarf compared to the monsters roaming the Milky Way. Take Betelgeuse, a red supergiant star sitting in the constellation Orion. If you replaced our sun with Betelgeuse, its outer atmosphere would stretch all the way past Earth, past Mars, and swallow the orbit of Jupiter. It would erase the inner solar system in a fraction of a second. Then there is UY Scuti, a hypergiant star so gargantuan that a commercial jet airliner flying along its surface at top speed would take over 1,100 years just to complete a single lap around it. Think about that. Over 1,000 years of non-stop flight just to circle one star. These stellar behemoths seem like the absolute limit of what nature can build. They are the supreme heavyweights of atomic fusion, massive glowing fireballs locked in a lifelong battle against their own gravity. But stars are made of normal matter, and normal matter has limits. Eventually, a star runs out of fuel. Gravity wins, the core collapses, and the star dies. And that brings us to a completely different class of cosmic entity. Objects that are not made of glowing gas or hot plasma, but of pure, unbroken density. Objects where space and time break down and where light itself goes to die. Meet TON 618. It sits roughly 18 billion light-years away from Earth. What we see when we look at TON 618 is not just an object in space, but a phantom from the deep past. We are looking at it as it was when the universe was less than 2 billion years old. TON 618 is an ultra-massive black hole, but calling it a black hole feels like calling an ocean a drop of water. Astronomers estimate its mass at roughly 66 billion times the mass of our Sun. 66 billion suns, crushed down into a single point of gravitational force. To put that number into perspective, think about our entire Milky Way galaxy. Our galaxy contains roughly 100 billion stars. Ton 618 alone weighs as much as nearly 2/3 of every single star in the Milky Way combined. It is a single object that rivals the mass of an entire galaxy. Now, let us talk about physical size. The outer boundary of a black hole, the boundary line of no return, is known as the event horizon. Beyond this line, gravity becomes so violent that nothing in the universe, not even light traveling at 186,000 miles per second, can move fast enough to escape. If you cross this threshold, you are erased from the observable universe forever. For most black holes, this dark sphere is relatively small. A black hole with the mass of the Earth would be smaller than a coin. A typical stellar black hole born from a dying star might stretch 20 or 30 miles across. Ton 618 is a completely different monster. Its event horizon spans a staggering 390 billion kilometers across. That is nearly 240 billion miles wide. Let that sink in for a moment. Our solar system is immense to us. The distance from the Sun to Pluto is roughly 3.9 billion miles. If you include the Kuiper Belt, our entire cosmic neighborhood stretches across a circle roughly 8 billion miles wide. If you placed Ton 618 at the center of our solar system, its dark, absolute void would not just swallow the Sun. It would swallow Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. It would swallow the entire Kuiper Belt. It would swallow the distant Voyager probes, which have been flying away from Earth at tens of thousands of miles per hour for nearly half a century. In fact, you could line up 11 of our entire solar systems end to end, and they would all fit side by side inside the dark event horizon of Ton 618. Inside that event horizon, there is no light, no heat, and no exit. It is an absolute abyss, a rip in the fabric of reality where the rules of physics stop making sense. Once you pass that boundary, space and time swap roles. Moving forward in space becomes as unavoidable as moving forward in time. Every single path you could possibly take leads directly toward the central singularity. And yet, what surrounds this dark hole in space is even more terrifying. As Ton 618 feeds on interstellar gas, dust, and entire stellar systems, that matter gets pulled into a colossal, swirling whirlpool called an accretion disk. Because of the extreme gravity, this matter orbits at near light speeds, grinding together with unimaginable pressure and friction. This disk glows with heat reaching millions of degrees. It shines with the light of 140 trillion suns. Think about that contrast. At the center lies the darkest place in existence, an absolute void where light cannot exist. But surrounding it is an energetic engine so bright that it outshines our entire galaxy 1,000 times over. We call this phenomenon a quasar. If TON 618 were placed in our cosmic neighborhood, say where the nearest star system, Alpha Centauri, sits, its blinding brightness would turn our night sky into continuous searing day. Its harsh radiation would instantly strip away Earth's atmosphere, boiling the oceans away and turning our world into a scorched, lifeless rock long before its gravity ever pulled us into the abyss. Scientists used to think that black holes like Ton 618 were the absolute upper limit of how big an object could possibly get. Theory suggested that beyond 50 billion solar masses, an accretion disk would become unstable and fall apart, stopping the monster from growing any further through normal feeding. Yet Ton 618 sits at 66 billion solar masses. It exists in defiance of our early models. How did it get so big so early in cosmic history? Did it form from the merger of smaller giants? Or did it collapse directly from huge primordial gas clouds right after the Big Bang? We still do not fully know. Standing before an object like TON 618 forces a strange feeling upon us. A mixture of quiet horror and profound awe. We spend our daily lives worrying about minor problems, short deadlines, and traffic jams. We build empires, wage wars, and write entire histories on a tiny pale blue dot that is barely a speck of dust floating in a dark, cold cosmic ocean. Yet out there in the deep black exist titans so large they render human language useless. They remind us that the universe was not made for us. It is vast, silent, and entirely indifferent to our existence. When you look up at the night sky tonight, ask yourself this: does knowing how small we are fill you with existential dread, or does it spark a deeper wonder for the universe we inhabit? Scroll down right now and leave your answer in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know where you stand. If this cosmic journey gave you chills, hit that like button immediately to help push this video to other curious minds across the globe. And if you are brave enough to keep exploring the darkest, most mind-bending corners of reality, click that subscribe button and turn on all notifications right now. Do not let the algorithm hide the secrets of the cosmos from you. Hit subscribe, join our community of space explorers, and I will see you on the next deep dive into the infinite unknown.